Thanks, Last Ceann Comhairle. And firstly, I move the amendment to the motion. And while I appreciate the good intentions behind this motion from the Social Democrats, a lot of these are already priorities for us and for everyone else on this side of the House. Can I suppose, just touch on a few themes that you've risen on? We acknowledge the need for the increase in home ownership, and the stats that you're mentioning, they've been available. They've come out through various. There was a report done a year ago, another similar type report. Yeah, how the building of houses really came to a cliff edge in around 2008, 2009. So there was a generation there that houses were not available to purchase. We're very much trying to remedy that now. And that's a fact. And really, I think the long-term solution is to increase supply. I just want to, I suppose, touch on a few items in Housing for All. The facts are that we have built 30,000 houses in the last year, the highest number since 2008. Funding is not an issue. We've put 4.5 billion in terms of funding. We've 10,000 commencements in the first 4 months of this year. It's the highest on record since 2014, and it's 6% higher than the previous period last year. And I suppose within the measures that in terms of just dealing with home ownership, within Housing for All, the Help to Buy scheme has helped 30,000, nearly 40,000 people at this moment in time. It's a scheme you opposed. You had it in your manifesto that you would effectively remove it. It's a deposit for people. Yeah, rents are too high, but the Help to Buy schemes gives an opportunity for people, first-time purchasers, to come up with a deposit, that much-needed deposit, and that shouldn't be overlooked, 10%. The First Home scheme is a scheme that we introduced in under this government, which is a scheme that allows people to purchase a house at a reduced cost of up to 20% of a discount. They still qualify for the Help to Buy in a new estate, and that's helping people to purchase their first home. Once again, it's a scheme that you opposed in terms of home ownership. And we've expanded the local authority home loan scheme. So we are putting measures in place to assist people to purchase their own home. And you made reference to, Deputy O'Callaghan, that people in the rental market, I think, aspire to own their own home. We believe that's anyone that's out there who's working should have the opportunity to purchase their home. We've put schemes in place for that. And Deputy Murphy, you made reference to cities and towns. We have a Croí Cónaithe scheme. You didn't make reference to that. That particular scheme is a scheme that's available for anyone, including first-time purchasers, to effectively get 50,000 for a house towards the renovation of a house that was built pre-2007, and they get 70,000 if the house is deemed to be derelict. That's a scheme that that we want to target at first-time purchasers. Obviously, it's now extended the rental market. That's a scheme, as of now, over 2,000 people have applied under the scheme. And we believe it's a scheme that will be very much oversubscribed. And I suppose the facts are that the transactions show that for first-time buyers, 17,000 homes were purchased in the 12 months to March of this year. There are 400 homes being purchased by first-time buyers per week at the moment. That's a fact. In terms of mortgage drawdowns, for Q1 it shows that the demand remains strong. 8,100 mortgage drawdowns for home purchased. It's 6.5% than in Q1. It's the highest once again since the first quarter in 2008. And first-time buyers' activity remains strong, with 5,500 first-time mortgages drawdown in Q1 of this year, 6.8% higher than last year. And the revenue is showing that in the first quarter of this year, 13,675 Help to Buy applications have been received. So we're looking to put in place, and have put in place, to encourage people to be able to purchase their first home. The schemes are very identifiable. The Help to Buy scheme, it's a deposit. The system with a deposit. In many cases, banks will accept it as the deposit. The First Home scheme, to get a discount to purchase their own home in a private estate, any estate. The local authority home loan scheme as well. Cone schemes are there. They're all directed towards home ownership. And it's something that we as a government feel very strongly about. Side by side with that, we must ensure that our social housing programme continues. We've delivered over 10,000 social homes in the last year. 7.5 of those were new builds by local authorities. The rest were of different forms. But as I've said, it's about providing a home for people. You made reference, Deputy O'Callaghan, to the cost rental area. Society is changing. For some people out there, they want to go into the rental space. That's why we've brought forward the cost rental scheme, where affordable cost rental scheme, where rents will be 25% below the current market rate, and within those schemes you have rentals security of tenure up to 40 years. So there is that model of long-term rental is very, very much to the fore. And I think the other area as well, we would like the terminations to be lower, absolutely. However, the model has changed within the RTB. Up to, I think, the 6th of July last year, it was based on where it had to be in 28 days after an eviction took place. Now it's based on the date the eviction notice is served on a tenant. We want to keep people in their homes. That's why we brought in very much an expanded tenant in situ scheme. To date, we have 1,000 applications being processed. We have another 900 being considered. That's 1,900 in total. The government will expand that scheme. That's a scheme that will be demand-led. We want to keep people in their homes. Not every eviction notice results in people being made homeless, but I take the point. One is too many to be on the homeless level, and we appreciate that. The fact is, we recognise the seriousness in terms of the rental market, and you're probably aware there's a comprehensive review underway by the department to look at that whole area, to see how we can explore that more people will stay in the rental market, what further improvements we can make. That report is expected to be published in the next, I think, in July. And affordability remains top of our priority list. I've made mention of our flagship programme, the First Home scheme. We're looking at 8,000 being qualified for that. For this quarter alone, we've seen 1,226 approvals in that area. And that's a scheme for the starter home. That's a scheme where someone who's starting out wants to buy their first home, they can avail of a scheme where they get a 20% discount and they get a 10% the Help to Buy scheme as a deposit, and they can do that in terms, and there are set price levels in different areas of the country. That scheme is a scheme, as far as I'm concerned, it's a starter home scheme where it makes it affordable for people to purchase their first home. We've committed 400 million to that programme. The Help to Buy scheme, I've already made reference to, 40,000 people have gained under that scheme to date. And really, I think the main focus within Housing for All remains about increasing supply. 30,000 units built last year. We're looking to exceed that this year. 10,223 social homes built last year. We're looking to match that, exceed that this year. And then it's around affordability. It's about that anyone out there that aspires to own their own home can. That's why we have the Help to Buy scheme and the First Home scheme there. The Cone scheme as well. It's something I would encourage the first-time buyers to look at. And then what we really want to do there is that to make it at a level where people can purchase the home for their own home. So people having home ownership remains front and centre in our ambition of housing for all, alongside our social housing programmes, alongside our cross-rental programmes, and ultimately it's an integrated model. It's not an either-or, it's about catering for all categories, including home ownership.
Thank you. So we move back over.